Welcome back to After the Credit Show, take 2.
Hi!
I'm Mike, this is Metal D.
Yeah.
We've been away for a while. The last movie we reviewed was Godzilla.
We've been watching movies.
A lot of movies, and apparently not having time to do anything about it.
Yeah, sometimes schedules don't mesh.
You're managing a store,
Yep.
I'm managing a store.
High five. We have jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this right here is going to be a little longer video, so grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and listen to us talk about the movies that we watched.
I'm going to grab a smoke.
I'm going to have a Mountain Dew.
Okay. First movie up is a movie that you saw that I did not, and that is the new XMen movie.
X-Men Days of Future Past. I went into this movie very excited. We had Bryan Singer back as our director. We got Sentinels. We got a story that's actually really good from the X-Men comics. The only problem I ever have with the X-Men movies is they're all focused around Wolverine, but if you get over that going into it, it can be a good movie. The story was good. It was nice to see new characters. It was great to see some of the returning characters, even if it was only for a split second, such as Cyclops.
Yeah.
But, great story. Kind of fixed some of the continuity errors, except for maybe Wolverine's claws, but whatever, that's a minor gripe. And it sets up for X-Men Apocalypse. Which I'm looking
there's going to be
forward
another one.
Yep.
Okay.
You went and saw a movie called The Immigrant?
Yes, it's not something that everybody's going to enjoy, you know. I mean, it's a story about two sisters that come over from Poland to, become American citizens, and they get separated. One gets sick, and the other one trying to get her sister out of, the infirmary that she's been locked up in. Turns to a life of prostitution and, what have you. And Joaquin Phoenix was in it. He was wonderful in it. The last scene in this movie is very, very powerful. If you like dramas and stuff like that and that keep your interest, I highly recommend going to see this. I did have a bit of an issue when I did see it. The projector went out for about 3 minutes, but I did end up catching it on Netflix. I think it's still on there. Check it out if it is. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, go to Netflix, check it out, let Dwayne know what you thought of it.
Yes.
I went and saw A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, boy.
Now, this is from Seth MacFarlane.
I didn't see that.
Who did Ted, who did Family Guy,
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland Joe, American Dad, all that.
So on, so on.
So, a little bit of expectations going in.
Mm-hmm.
Did not live up to it. This is definitely a movie you can wait till it's on cable or just rent it some Friday night when you're bored. You'll get a few chuckles out of it, but it's not the laugh fest that it should be.
Glad I waited.
So...
Up next, I went to see a movie in a little theater called, it was in Iowa City, actually, and I saw a movie called Snowpiercer.
I've heard a lot about this movie, but I have
wow.
not seen it yet.
Best movie of its kind, I think, this summer, in a summer that had a lot of great sci-fi movies. It's about a train that after the world tried to solve, the global warming problem, it froze the earth, and
Good job, scientist.
This guy has this huge train, and it's kind of separated in classes from the steerage in the back to the rich people in the front, and then there's like a prison car in the middle. There's even an aquarium in there. Just huge, humongous train. And so, the people in the back want to kind of move to the front and take over the train, thinking that they'll take over the world if that's the case. Very exciting movie, very good movie, very smart movie. See it if you have a chance. Awesome. And if you have seen it, let me know what you thought, because I think that it was great.
That's the main thing with this channel. Leave your comments below, because talking movies, that's what we like to do.
Exactly.
So we'd like to interact with you about that.
Yes.
Next up, we both saw this movie, Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise.
Another good sci-fi movie. Yeah, I mean, this summer was really good for that.
It's kind of got this Groundhog's Day thing where Tom Cruise, whenever he dies, comes back.
He regenerates.
But
and it explains it, and it makes sense.
If you don't like Tom Cruise, go see it. You can see him die like 100 times in this movie.
And if you don't like Tom Cruise, get over it. He doesn't play Tom Cruise in the movie. He plays a character.
Exactly. And this was a really good movie. It had a lot more depth and thought put into the story than I thought it was going to.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was really good.
Didn't do too well at the box office, but...
And that's too bad, because this was really good. I think that probably because of Tom Cruise's name, but, get over it, people. Jeez.
All right.
He doesn't jump on a couch.
You saw a movie called Life Itself?
Yeah, fantastic documentary about the life and times of Roger Ebert. He even had this film crew film him even when he was really sick and pretty much dying. up to the point that he died. If you're interested at all about Roger Ebert, see this film. Even if you're not, I think that you will gain a new respect for this guy because he loved movies. If there's one thing, he loved movies, and you really find out a lot about this guy, and you learn, you will respect him a lot more after you do see this.
I went and saw 22 Jump Street, the sequel to 21 Jump Street.
No, I did not.
I kind of wish I hadn't. This movie was basically the same jokes over and over again. A lot of jokes about it being a sequel, which led to the big payoff joke at the end of them spoofing like 30 more sequels.
Great.
And it wasn't worth the time.
Keep changing the address. Keep making movies.
All right, that's all I want to talk about on that. So let's move to Boyhood.
Okay, Boyhood. Probably the best movie that I've seen in at least 10 years. It started out, it's a project by Richard Linklater, and he, over a 12-year period, kept the same cast throughout the whole thing, so they don't change faces or anything like that. Started out with this boy when he was 5 years old up until he was 18 in a 12-year period or so. And if you like movies that have characters and depth and characters that you can care about and maybe even wanting more at the end of a 2-hour and 40-minute movie, this is a movie to see. You know, when it comes out on Blu-ray or DVD, you might want to take it in, 2 parts, and that's fine. But that doesn't change the fact that you should still see this movie.
All right. I went and saw How to Train Your Dragon 2 with some friends, and great movie. If you like the first movie, this has the same heart, the same depth. It's just more character, more story with the characters you like from the first movie.
I wanted to go see this movie really bad. I didn't know you were going with a group of people.
You didn't want to be the creepy guy in the back of the theater?
I did not want to be the creepy guy in the back of the theater. Yeah, I didn't want to have that stigma.
Not necessarily just a kid's movie. Could be a movie for adults. It's for anybody that likes good storytelling. Just because it's animated does not mean it's for children.
Yeah, no, kind of like a Lego movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Which I did not see yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I need to get to that.
I gotta see that, yeah.
You went and saw Magic in the Moonlight.
Yeah, this is the latest from Woody Allen. While it wasn't Woody Allen's best movie, I still you'll be hard pressed not to take something out of a Woody Allen movie that you find that was good. I thought it was good. The kiss at the end was a little creepy with Colin Firth and Emma Stone, but I can get over that. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. If you like Woody Allen films, then go see it. I
went and saw Transformers.
Ooh, I bet that's 2.5 hours. You wish you had it back.
Felt more like 4 hours.
Ugh.
I walked out of the theater to refill my pop and looked around to see if there was anything else worth walking back into. This movie, I'm not saying you need a lot of story for the Transformers movies, but a little story would help. Mark Wahlberg was there for some reason.
You get what you get with these things.
I think Mark Wahlberg was in there just so they could put a name on it. I don't think he was in there for anything else. Hey, guys.
Does it even say Mark Wahlberg in the Transformer? Probably not.
And then he's like, hey, guys, I think we got a Transformer here. That's my Mark Wahlberg.
Odd.
Say hello to your mother for me.
No, I may even pass on disc on this one.
And then I watched the movie Tammy with Melissa McCarthy.
Ouch.
It was cute.
I'm not a big fan of hers for some reason.
It was cute, but it wasn't great.
I've seen her in Heat, and I've seen her in Identity Thief, and
Bridesmaids?
I saw Bridesmaids, and
it's always the same character.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was this anything different?
Nope.
Okay.
She's more white trash in this one.
Glad I passed.
Susan Sarandon's in it. She does really well.
Oh, okay.
Allison Janney is in it.
All right.
So you have Dan Aykroyd. You have a really good cast going for it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something I needed.
Well, didn't her husband end up directing this too?
I think so.
Yeah, it probably didn't help.
All right, you saw Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I saw the 4K restoration, and again in a small theater in Iowa City, and wow, I was blown away. I
wouldn't drive to go see the movie Nebraska. We'll drive to Iowa City to see other movies.
Well, that was Texas Chainsaw.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't think that they would be able to clean this movie up, or maybe they even shouldn't, because the graininess kind of adds to the character of the film.
Definitely.
But there were little nuances in there that I never noticed before, and I think that once you see the 4K transfer, and if you have a chance to see it on the big screen, you will definitely see it. Fantastic. Loved it. They did it perfect. There was still the grain in there that made it look like a movie that you shouldn't be seeing.
Yeah.
But yet there were little pieces, little bits of pieces that you say, oh, wow, I never noticed that before. That's cool. That's really neat. You know, and this stuff wasn't added in there. It was just brushed up enough to bring it out.
Was in there that you never noticed.
Yeah, and anytime you have a chance to see a classic like that in the theater, take advantage of it.
All right.
I.e. Ghostbusters coming up.
Definitely. Next week I'm going to Ghostbusters.
There you go.
All right. Movie we both saw, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh. If Boyhood wasn't there on my list, I would probably say that this was the best movie that I've seen this summer.
You know who had a cameo in this movie?
Not
Zach from In the Rope Show is in this movie.
Oh yeah, I was told about that. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
So I almost didn't go see it just because of that.
But I'm glad that I did.
So am I. The only problem I have with this movie, it's like the Terminator movie, where he's in the bunker and starts getting the calls, and you're like, I want 5 more minutes of this movie just to see John Connor become the guy that he's supposed to be.
Sure.
And that's how I felt at the end of this. I want like 5-10 more minutes. I just want to see where it goes after this.
Well, you'll be getting it in another film, I guarantee.
Exactly, but that's what a good movie should do. It should
Exactly.
make you want to go, I want more. Don't end it right there.
And this is the reason why they should have sequels, you know, and stuff like that. But, I mean, beyond that, I mean, the storytelling in this, you know, and it was, you know, you didn't know really who to root for. You understood the human...
Their plight, yeah.
Their plight. Well, you understood the apes, too.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, you know, the cost of war, the cost, you know, everything.
There's always got to be one guy in there that's got to fuck things up for everybody.
Exactly. Or ape.
Yeah. All right, I went and saw Lucy. I think there was maybe 100 words in the script. Morgan Freeman spoke most of them, so if you're going to have somebody say them, I think they got the right person.
Yeah.
But, it went by really fast. I didn't feel like there was any depth to the story. It was all right. It was a popcorn flick. It was a movie you sit back, you turn off your brain, you eat some popcorn. But could we get maybe just a little bit of dialogue? Just a little.
Well, you know, scriptwriters sometimes are lazy.
Here's what happened. Some guy said, I'm going to get Scarlett Johansson, get her half naked, she's going to kill some people.
Damn it. I need to see Under the Skin.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah.
All right, then we both saw this movie. This is a movie I was anticipating for a while.
Yeah, and you were convincing me, oh, this is going to be great. And I was like, I don't know. These characters, I've never even heard of them. I don't know who they are. I don't know their origins.
And now you give a shit, don't you?
And then, you know, I went to go see it, and I was stunned. I actually liked it.
This movie almost might be better than Avengers to me.
In some aspects, I don't know if I go that far yet.
We had characters that were fully developed.
Maybe we should tell them what movie we're talking about.
Guardians of the Galaxy, if you hadn't guessed already. I am Groot.
Yeah, you know, it was good. I was really surprised, you know, and the comedy aspect of it, you know, really got me. You know, the soundtrack wasn't half bad, you know, kept it pumping, you know, stuff like that.
Definitely.
The group of characters, I enjoyed them. You know, I think that the characters, you know, have a chance to be more. So they have a chance to be better than the Avengers. I don't think that this movie was necessarily as good as the Avengers.
I really like Batista's character and how he takes everything literally.
Yeah. Yeah, even
definitely adds to the comedy.
Even the smart-ass raccoon made me laugh a couple times, you know?
So here you've got DC, and they're like, we can't get a movie about Wonder Woman made. And Marvel's like, we got a movie with a talking raccoon and a tree.
And a tree. Yeah. Voiced by Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah. But Vin Diesel only says 3 words.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
And we are Groot.
Oh. Okay. Make that 4 different words.
Next up, I went and saw Let's Be Cops, and honestly, Let's Be Cops was probably the best comedy I've seen this summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This summer didn't have that many comedies.
No. It's all about sci-fi, though.
It's about 2 friends who are about to pack it in and leave the big city to go back home. One's trying to pitch a game about being police officers, and his company's like, no. And so they go to a costume party, masquerade party. They're the same thing, apparently. So they dress up as cops. and then they're out on the street, and people start thinking they're cops.
Hmm.
So the other guy takes a little too far, orders a cop car, and they start going on calls and stuff.
Oh, dear Lord.
Great, funny movie. Has a decent ending. Yeah, I laughed almost all the way through this movie.
I haven't had a chance to catch up with this one. I don't know if I necessarily will, but I will make sure to catch it up on it.
I don't think you need to go see it in theaters, but it definitely was a funny movie.
See, we go see movies that you don't necessarily have to see in theaters, just for you.
And then, this one I went to last night.
I went to it last Thursday.
Sin City 2, A Dame to Kill For. A sequel that is about 6 years too late.
Yeah, I would have to
It's been
say that.
9 years since the last Sin City movie.
I went into this
I mean,
movie.
shit, you lost how much to the cast even?
Right.
Michael Clark Duncan, Brittany Murphy, Clive Owen didn't want to come back.
Right.
Ming Ho, they changed the character.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's 4 your cast.
Yeah. But Mickey Rourke came back, and so
Yeah.
did Jessica Alba and
Bruce Willis.
You know, so you know, I watched the first one prior to going to see this one, and as much as I wanted to like this one, you know, as much, I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. It just didn't hit me the same way that the first one.
It wasn't fresh and new like the first Sin City
Right.
was.
Although, you know, I thought some of the stories were interesting, although some of them were left open-ended.
Yeah, and some of them, the resolution was really weird, like Joseph
Right.
Gordon-Levitt's story.
Right. You know, and that, you know, definitely an open end on that one too.
Yeah.
You know, all in all, I thought that this was a decent movie. Did you go see it in 3D or 2D?
2D, and I've heard that the 3D really
I've heard
adds
the
to
3D
it.
adds to it too. I saw it in 2D as well, so maybe the 3D aspect does help in this one. I'm not sure.
But I will say that...
If you have seen it in 3D, though, let us know.
I will say at least the story was good, and it kept me engaged the whole way through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it was, you know, again, the stories kind of all intertwined in some way, shape, or form, you know, like the first one. But you kind of have to wait for those strands to, you know, tie together. But, you know,
Now, let's hope that it doesn't take another 9 years for Sin City 3 if they're going to do it.
Well, based upon what it did at the theater this weekend, I highly doubt that it's going to happen.
Except Robert Rodriguez makes movies really cheap.
That is true, but I don't know. Maybe this could be one of those straight-to-video ones. I don't know.
All right, well, that's what we've watched these last few months. Let us know if there's anything that you've seen that we didn't that we should check out down below. We'll be back soon, hopefully.
Very soon with, I would say that we're going to have to do a video about what we're looking forward to seeing in the fall and maybe even the winter time.
Definitely. So, since...
2000...
I don't know, it's been a while.
2010?
No, that's the Off the Rope show.
2011. No. 2012.
Since 2012, we've been watching movies.
For your pleasure.
Yeah.